The 80s gave us unforgettable songs from Bob Marley, De La Soul, and Public Enemy.
I'm a black man, and I can never be a veteran.
Being Black the 80s is a podcast docuseries hosted by me, Touré, looking at the most important issues of the 80s through the songs of the decade. This is the funkiest history class you'll ever take.
This is the kind of history class I can get behind. Welcome back.
You know
that was
it.
a look at our June podcast of the month, Being Black the 80s, which comes at the perfect time as we celebrate Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip-hop.
And joining us now is the host of the series to tell us all about the music that he broke down in this podcast and what was happening in Black America at the same time. Please welcome Touré. It is good to see you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, of course.
Appreciate it.
Here's how it works. You take a song, a specific song from that decade, the 80s, and then you mirror it at what was happening in Black America at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think great music has the seeds of the political environment around it, in it, and especially Black music is so often political or inherently political. The artist may not be meaning to make a political statement, but they are. So I'm trying to take the great songs from that period and talk about the political messages that are in that song.
So how about Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, for example?
Two of the most important ideas of the 80s, Afrocentrism and affirmative action. We would have never heard of Tracy Chapman if she hadn't performed that song at Nelson Mandela's 70th birthday concert, which happened at a time when he was still in prison, and a lot of us thought he would never get out. So a lot of people were concerned about what's going on in Africa. We were Afrocentric, right? Their problems are our problems. So when they had a 70th birthday concert for Nelson Mandela, 600 million people tuned in. Tracy Chapman performed, everybody heard Fast Car, and the album had been out for months. Nobody cared. As soon as we heard that song, the whole world flipped out. But it's also a story about affirmative action, because Tracy Chapman, as a teenager, single parent, single child, in poverty in Cleveland, nothing is going right, and somebody says, you know, you can go to a great private school in New England, and that happens, and it completely changes her life.
Where did the idea for all this come from?
I mean, I've always thought that, you know, great music tells you about the time that it comes from. So I wanted to get in there and explore the songs, and the griot let me do that. So like we talk about Diana Ross's classic I'm Coming Out, which was supposed to be about gay liberation, and I have people talking about, yeah, I mean, of course people were working in the streets and working in the legislatures, but disco is part of gay liberation. One of the people come on and talk about when they were younger, they came out to their father, and their father said, that's fine, but I don't know any happy gay adults. And then with the flowering of disco in the late 70s, this person saw, oh, look at all these happy gay adults, and he felt comfortable to be out. And so the politics works through the music in this way, and that's what we're trying to explore.
So how did you go about picking specific songs? There was a lot of great music in the 80s, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, the list goes on and on.
I wanted to find songs that speak to the political time, where I could tell part of the message of what's going on in the politics. Like, so Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday, right? We all know this song, right? Black people sing this instead of the traditional version at a birthday party. But this was a song that Stevie Wonder wrote because Coretta Scott King asked him to write it to help her with the movement in making Dr. King's birthday into a federal holiday. This was part of a whole diplomatic effort that she had been on for years and years and years. And look, King was not that popular when he died. So it was a tremendous effort on Coretta's part to make it into a holiday, to change his image, and Stevie is part of that. So we talk about how Stevie made the song, why he made the song, and the effort to make the King holiday into a national holiday.
Looking at all these songs, looking at the history, what's your takeaway from it all?
Well, one of the things that you keep seeing when you look at Black history, especially when we get to the 80s, we're constantly taking one step forward and one step back. In the 80s, the number of Black people in the middle class expands, but so does the number of Black people in the working class, in poverty. So we're kind of moving forward a little bit, but then not. That's kind of the history that we keep seeing. And we have this determination. That's what the final episode is about. Bob Marley, Redemption Song. We have this determination in the face of oppression, but it takes time to actually make gains. But the determination remains.
What a clever idea. Isn't it so cool?
Do you have a favorite?
A favorite? Oh my God, I can't pick a favorite among my children, but the gay liberation episode really comes together in a really beautiful way.
Very cool. Touré, thank you so much
Good
for
to
being
see
with us.
Yeah.
And Being Black the 80s is available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Well, hey Hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.